It's the Playhouse Podcast with Kat and JJ.
Believe it. I missed everything.
Miss the show?
What am I going to do?
Check out the Daily Podcast.
Hey, what did Grandma or Grandpa do for work way back in the day? We started exploring some really interesting jobs that grandparents had. A lot of them aren't even around anymore, except for a guy named Devin, whose grandma was unique and did what she had to do. Let's put it that way. That's coming up in the podcast in a couple of seconds. Let's go. Good morning, Erica. How are you?
Good. How about you guys?
Good. Thank you. So obviously this is very important to you. What do you want to ask Psychic Kim?
I'm wondering if there will be another baby to join our family at some point, or if we will add another child to our family.
Oh, she's giggling
Kim was
already.
giggling already. Wow.
Yep. When you said she's got a big question to ask, I'm like, oh, she wants to know if she's going to have another baby. Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
Erica,
Good to know.
how many do you have already?
2.
Okay, now I can tell you this as somebody who got talked into going to 3 from 2. Your life's over.
You are now
Don't
outnumbered.
tell my husband that.
It's over. These people that want to talk you into a third have it's a cult, and they just want to see you as emotionally wrecked as I've been over the last 18 years, and then they laugh at you from afar, and you'll do it one day to them too now.
Yeah, don't tell my husband that.
I mean, and they're a blessing, and they're a lot of great fun and everything, but it's all downhill from
We
here.
talked about it the other day. Raising a child in America right now is at $400,000. You're adding $400,000 onto your life.
It's worth it.
A lot of pull tabs, Erica. Yeah. Well, good luck. Hey, Kim, can you kind of tell as far as the time frame goes here what it's going to look like for her?
Next year.
Okay.
Next year.
Okay.
It's not right away. But
Plenty of time
get busy.
Plenty of time to paint the nursery. Good luck, Erica.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Hi, Mary. How you feeling today?
good.
Good. Thanks for joining the show. Now on a completely 180 from this. How long ago did you lose your son?
February 8th
Okay.
of last year.
I'm so sorry. I mean, it's just coming up on a year anniversary. So what would you like to ask him?
Just wondering how he is.
Okay. I got the song that kind of plays a part where he's taking ownership for whatever happened. Doesn't matter how, he's not showing me exactly how it passed, but he's taking some ownership of it. And then he must have been a little sarcastic-y, because all of a sudden I heard, of course you would ask how I am. She couldn't ask on how anybody else is doing over here. She had to ask me.
It's Mama, of course.
So he's got a little bit of the sarcastic energy. He's like, something about going fast. I liked to go fast, and now I'm not going fast, and I don't like that. I'm like, okay. He's like, but Mama, I'm really, really, really trying to go fast. Like, and he shows me like zipping around a house, like super fast, like lightning, like a lightning speed, lightning bolt, like Flash.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, he's funny. And so he's trying to show me he's going fast, like trying to knock things over in the house right now. So pay attention, because he said, I'm totally fine. I'm trying to go fast again. That's all.
Okay.
Does that resonate, Mary? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully you can take a little comfort in this and hang in there. I know the first year is always the toughest.
Yes.
All right.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you being on the show. Let's do at least one more this segment, and then we'll line up some more callers. Hi, Jenna. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. We talked a little bit earlier when I was kind of screening calls for this, and you said, are you currently at the job you love?
That wasn't my question. I had asked. I was asking about how my love life.
Oh, you know what? Never mind. I completely had you messed up with another caller who hung up while they were waiting. So you want to know about your love life moving forward? My bad. I just can't read my own writing. So what's the specific question you have then?
I mean, basically, just that I gotten out of a relationship not too long ago, and I'm just, I'm kind of curious how it looks, going forward. Am I going to find, my soulmate person? Am I going to be kind of single for a while, or what?
All right, Kim, what are you feeling here?
Okay. Yeah, I'm getting all these like fun energies coming through, like the ooh la la sound and like the Oh, yeah.
Bow chicka bow wow.
Yep, that's all starting to come through. So I know that it's very, very, very soon. But I'm like, in my head, I'm here, what's the holdup? What's the holdup? Why? And I hear you for yourself. And so I'm going to say good job to you because you know who you are. And you're not going to sit there and, take something that you're not supposed to take. So good job. But I feel like that your partner is still trying to figure that out. He's still stuck in a relationship. So he has to get out of the relationship before you two can come together. And they said he's dragging his feet really bad. So you might be waiting a little bit, but there is what I call soulmate lifelong partner that is coming to you. Just, a little patience, but he's coming.
Okay.
Jenna, what's your mode of looking for this person, Jenna?
I'm just ready to meet my person who, understands me and that I've been in too many situations where I feel completely misunderstood or unheard. And, I'm just ready to find that person that really gets me.
All right.
And just for what our future is.
They're out there. It sounds like you just got to be patient. I know that can't be easy, but good luck. Hey, good morning, Gene. How you doing?
Doing good. Just trying to stay warm.
Yeah, right. It's all of us. What's your question for Psychic Kim? We know it has to do with your work. What are you thinking here?
I just went to a new position that is opening up in the area I live at, and I thought it was going to be a really good opportunity. However, it's not going the way the way I thought things would be going. And I am wondering, do I take on a new opportunity? Do I wait for an old job that I used to have open up? Which direction do I go?
All right, Kim.
Wait for the old job that you had, that one. Your current job, though, new position, they're like, you need to give it a little bit more time. There's some really cool things that you're supposed to learn there. There's reasons why you're there learning that stuff. That doesn't mean you need to stay there forever and make it your lifelong dream job. No. But there's reasons why you have to stick it out there until your old job opens back up. So take advantage of being there.
Thank you.
Is that kind of what you were hoping for,
Thank
Gene?
You. Yes, that's kind of what I was hoping for because I kind of know the direction that I'm headed, and it's just more growth in my field. So,
all right, well, go get it. You're welcome. I hope you have a great morning. Thanks for checking in. Hi, Kayla. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I love your energy, and that's why you guys want to open a gym. Is that what the deal is?
Yes.
Okay, so what's your question?
Just, is it worth the investment? Will it be successful?
Are you going in with a partnership with somebody else? Or are you trying to do this okay, because I hear partnership, yes. Okay. But I do see it's going to take work, and I know you understand that. You understand, the amount of everything, the cost of stuff, and the marketing. I get that you understand that, but I see that you need a partnership that needs to be in place to make it more successful. And I hear outsource things, bring in different things where you're not taking the full brunt of stuff. Eventually it will shift into the dream that you want, but you can't start at the full-blown grandiose gym that you want. You'll have to work up to that. But it's going to take a lot of work and patience and time, and you can do it. You totally can.
And Kayla, to add to your realistic expectations, obviously that's what Kim's setting you up for here. The other one that you should tag onto that as far as your list of expectations is to not see Kat show up.
Are you going to have workout equipment there? Because I'm allergic.
I'm joking.
Yes.
Yeah, go get it, Kayla. You can do it. Have a great morning.
Thank you. You too.
Take care. Hello, Tanya. How you doing?
Good. You guys?
Great. Thanks for asking. So how many dudes are you juggling right now?
I've been talking to two for over a year.
He jokes, but it's don't put all your eggs in one basket. You're kind of single, so you can check it out.
I'm not the one that called her a floozy off air, Kat.
Wow.
Well, neither of them have
committed to anything, so that's on them, not me.
Right.
All right, Kim,
You're
should she
just having
lean
fun.
one way or the other? Do you see something jumping out here, Kim?
Keep going with what you're doing is kind of what I'm getting, but I hear neither of them.
Oh.
Right?
That's
So-
kind of what I was thinking.
That's kind of what I was thinking. So stop wasting your time. If I could have your shoulders right now, I'd
No, no,
shake
no,
them.
no, no.
Stop
Are you-
wasting your time and go find someone else.
Tanya, are you having fun at least?
Not anymore.
Oh, bummer,
Yeah,
man.
it's not fun to waste your time. Your eggs are getting old. Let's go.
All right, Kim, are there any signs that she will find, the right person here anytime soon?
Yeah, I see like a concert this summer, some sort of concert, and you're there having fun. It's like a musical concert, and lots of bands. You're having fun, and I see you meet somebody there.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
that's where you'll have more fun, and you're like, okay, who are you? What are you? Huh? And it's a beautiful hookup.
And Tanya, I'm not going to tell you what to do because I'm not a master in love, but I've always said if you lower your standards to somebody like me, it'll come around.
Terrible advice. Keep your standards up there.
Thank you, guys.
Good luck.
right.
You're now
Thank you.
officially single. Well done. All right, I got time for, I really wanted to squeeze more on. I think, Lisa, you'll be our last reading this morning. How are you doing?
Doing good. How are you guys?
Good, good. Now, we understand that your son is having some issues. This is a back thing, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what's your question for Psychic Kim then?
This has been going on for about 8 months. He's actually in between jobs right now too. But even the thought of getting a job, he's had this incredible back pain. We've tried multiple different doctors and haven't really come up with figuring out what's going on. We're just trying to figure out what the next direction is to go to try and get
Yeah, and this could be
resolved.
debilitating when it's where you're back. Kim, what are you seeing?
I keep getting pulled to all different functional medicine doctors, like all over the place. So there's definitely more going on than just like a spinal type issue. He's got some. Sometimes we can store some weird garbage in our spine, like viruses, bacteria, molds, like a whole bunch of weird things in our spine. And I'm not getting pulled to any one particular, but what I would say is they show me, not even chiropractors, I'm getting pulled to like functional health medicine doctors, and it doesn't matter which one you go to because I hear they will find the problem. I do feel like he's going to have to take some weird herbal type stuff. I'm feeling like nasty herb tasting stuff. And
she laughs at it.
And yeah, I could taste that stuff, so I know that there's some sort of like viral bacterial. There's something else going on in his spine that is just not showing up. So it's more than just a spine thing, more than just a muscle thing. It's deeper in there. Functional medicine.
So you say like a holistic kind of doctor, or what do you mean by functional doctor?
Yes. Yep, holistic. They look at the whole lot of different areas. Just type in Google functional holistic medicine doctor. There'll be a whole list that come up. Okay.
I'm guessing you guys haven't tried any of this kind of thing so far yet, Lisa, right?
No, not that. We have not tried.
All right, well, it sounds like at least another road to explore and try and get him feeling well again. You should call immediately and get the bingo, but what are we looking for?
Bingo! How fun!
Last week, someone lost an eye at bingo.
Bingo what bingo? Bingo!
Kat is looking for anyone listening
Who has a pretty good singing voice, and this just goes to show you never know who is surfing around the interweb. This woman who goes by Only Romeo unloaded a very brief TikTok last month, and now it led to the new Dr. Pepper jingle.
She's the new Little Sweet?
I have a theme song for Dr. Pepper, and it goes like this. Dr. Pepper, baby, is good and nice. Doo-doo-doo. Dr. Pepper, baby, is good and nice. Doo-doo-doo. Dr. Pepper, baby, is good and nice.
They remixed it.
Dr. Pepper, baby, is good and nice. Good and nice.
There you go.
Like it.
Very cool. So you never know. She's got kind of a J Hud sound to her. So you have a pretty good singing voice. I want you to prove it.
I'm looking for anyone listening who has actually been in a Peloton studio. And it's a little bit easier to fish with the network of radio stations that carry our show. But you were in there. You took a class inside the Peloton studio, not like you took one live on your bike or you watched one, but you were in there with the trainer. I just kind of want to know what that experience is like. So if either of these fit, call us right now. You know what the first big trend now that we're 22 days into the year of 2026 is?
I don't. A lot of numbers.
They've announced it. The first big trend is you're supposed to be whimsy. Whimsy in 26.
Whimsy, that makes it sound like you're supposed to be dumb.
It's the almost, yeah. It's the year of whimsy. They're saying whimsy goals.
I don't want a bunch of aloofs.
You're supposed to add more whimsy to your life. So it got big with digital content creators, and now they're trying to live more of an analog lifestyle.
So we talked about the analog bag the other day.
They're basically living their lifestyle to the point of they're trying to be offline more and do more real life things.
Be fanciful, playful, charming, and odd, wonderful.
Whimsy is the front runner for the first big trend of 2026.
Okay.
So basically, you're supposed to dilly-dally or just fart around or just be silly. I feel like I'm way ahead of this curve. I'm way ahead of this curve. I quit caring a long time ago.
Quit caring and then bothering people with your nonsensical actions are two different things.
I hit the nonsensical thing about 15 years ago and did it for like a week, and then I just quit caring about most things. And here I am. I think I'm living a great balanced lifestyle.
If something is done to me and I don't like that it's done to me, and someone's like, oh, well, I'm just a little whimsy today, you're going to get a punch to the face.
Whoa.
It
Violence
will make
is
me
never the
so
answer.
angry.
Well, if you know somebody who's just kind of like a little aloof, they're just like whimsical.
Their time is now.
Yeah, you're supposed to be just farting around. Whimsy goals for 2026.
Whatever. Who thought of this?
It's a big deal in the Huffington Post right now. They're saying this is
with
the first.
The huff?
This is the first big trend of 2026. So if you're seeing your kids be just a little less caring, or they're kind of goofy, or you think they're on the pot, they might just be living whimsy 26. So there's this big fad about everything 2016. Everybody wants to flash back 10 years. Oh, the world was better. Everything was great. So we thought, all right, let's jump on the bandwagon. DJ Johnny D is going to be here Friday morning at 8 a.m. And when we do the weekend rollout, this 30 minutes of old school back-to-back and beat-to-beat, it's only jams, the top jams from 2016. So join us for that, and you can win a whole bunch of free tacos from the Mexican Village downtown. Right now, though, let's put a cap on the podcast. When it comes to what our grandparents did, and there's obviously a generational gap. My grandfather, one of them was a milk hauler. When he wasn't at war, he hauled milk. He would go to the creamery, or he'd go to the farmers, and they'd fill him up. They'd fill him up with milk, and then he would take it to the creamery. He was just a trucker. And then my other grandfather was a custodian.
Okay.
That was it. I mean, those were, and they did those jobs their entire life. Wow. It wasn't like now where you're going to have 7 careers. They did that job their entire life.
Security. People hot off the Depression needed security.
They made a living. They were able to feed their family and pay their rent, and that was good enough for them.
My grandmother saw the world 3 times over. She really lived a great life, and she worked for Delta, and she was one of the first female oh my God, like she'd plug in one cord, a switchboard, huh? That's it. And she would deliver tones and messages to pilots and people that needed to know whatever they needed to know at Delta. I thought that was
cool. So if she
cool.
was off her game, planes were going to crash.
Essentially,
Jeez.
I guess. But then she was also a flight attendant back where they used to really dress up when people would dress up to go to the airport, And then my grandfather sold printers to every building in Chicago, outfitted the Willis Tower with all the office buildings with printers. He would go and show them how to work them and everything like that. So, and then we also think that he worked for the FBI. He's very secretive. He knows a lot of weird things, and so we're just going to let that one slide until, somebody comes forth.
Now, as soon as we mentioned we wanted to hear what your grandfather or your grandmother did for a living, Devin called, and he's like, you're not going to believe this. So the floor is yours. And this is Grandma. What did she do?
I hate to say this, rest in peace, Grandma, but she was a call girl.
Oh, your grandma was a prostitute?
Well, not one that stands in front of 7-Eleven or anything like that or gas stations. She was more high end. She had like clients like lawyers, doctors, CEOs.
Wow.
So she was entertaining like powerful people.
So she probably had quite a little black book or Rolodex.
Yeah, does your family talk fondly about this? I'm surprised it got to you.
You know what? Her sister told me about it. I didn't know. I thought grandma just likes to knit.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did.
She lived that fast life and then she just crocheted for the rest of it, huh?
Dang.
Yeah, but she lived quite a life, man. When I was growing up, I thought she was this sweet grandma baking muffins and all that.
This is so weird because most of us look at our grandparents as these like innocent older people.
Yeah.
And you know that grandma she was down to get down for a couple of bucks. When asked the question, what did your grandparents do? Now, there's going to be a tremendous amount of us that are like, if you go back a couple of generations, they were farmers. Maybe they lived off the land. They had a little cabin, something like that.
Oh, my God. In like a generation and a half, they'll be like, she danced in front, or she made sourdough for everybody online.
My grandma had my fans, or only fans.
Yeah.
And she made $1 billion. That's why I don't have to work. Morning, Brooks. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. I saw your text. This is so interesting. Tell us what your grandparents did.
So my grandpa was actually in Tokyo Harbor on the Missouri when Tokyo surrendered after World War II.
Wow.
And after that, he and my grandma both went and worked at a 3M factory and wound cassette tape around cassette wheels for until their mandatory retirement age of 65.
Do you have kids? Brooks, do you have kids?
Yes, he does.
Oh, you do? How do you describe cassette tapes to your kids? Like they're never going to understand this, are they?
No, I will never even try to describe it because they will just blow their minds.
I mean,
you gotta take the pencil out,
right,
and rewind.
It's such a fail as a parent when you go, I don't know how to tell you this. Here's a YouTube video describing it. Like it's just
it's exactly it.
Did your grandpa, was he big on telling these stories about the war?
He was not. I will say this: he passed when I was only 2. But he did share some stories with my parents, obviously, because that was a huge pivotal time in America's history. And so, yeah, he shared some stories with them, but overall, he kind of kept to himself about the war.
Yeah, some people will do that, but that dude was a hero. Like he was there.
Yeah,
that's
how
so
cool.
Cool.
Is that?
That's very, very cool. Thanks for sharing with us this morning, man. I hope you have a great morning.
You guys well. Thanks.
Okay, real quick. Did you see the other text? I think it was from Naomi, maybe, about the buttons?
Yes, I did. Oh, let me pull it up. Oh, my grandma worked at the Lansing Button Factory in Lansing, Iowa. It was on the Mississippi River, and they would punch buttons out of clamshells.
So that's what buttons were made out of?
Well, yeah. If you see the beautiful, like, pearl texture to it.
I thought they were just all man-made. I thought they were all just plastic.
No.
So really, they have clamshell buttons on shirts?
That is interesting.
I learned something
all
new
of
today.
these are like obsolete, like a lot of what our grandparents did, obsolete. No one has to sit there and slice bread anymore manually, if that was their job at one point.
I would be interested to know if anybody else knows if they're still making buttons out of clamshells.
You're stuck on it.
I am. That's fascinating to me because I thought it was just always, we had plastic. Like it feels like we've had plastic forever. When was the last time you dropped something off at Goodwill?
I think I did it right before Thanksgiving.
How long was it in your car before you dropped it off?
Just a week.
Wow.
Just a week. And I don't go that direction anymore. When we lived on the other side of town, I would drive past it all the time. So I really had to be thoughtful about when I was going to drop it off, but I wanted to get rid of it before the holidays. So yeah, 2 big bags.
I read this story about a Goodwill in Tucson. They had to evacuate it over the weekend.
Oh, no.
Someone donated a grenade. Now, it was a novelty grenade. It was a plastic one.
Yeah.
But as soon as they saw it, they had to evacuate, call the bomb squad in, and get the grenade out there. So Goodwill has now distributed to all media outlets things they don't want you to bring. Okay?
Okay.
These are things that they don't want you to bring. Old newspapers, encyclopedias.
Okay.
I thought that would be okay. Oxygen tanks. They don't want propane tanks. They don't want dishwashers, like built-in appliances. Please do not donate to Goodwill your tires, office cubicles, hot tubs. I mean, imagine rolling up in your truck with your hot tub on the back.
But can you imagine getting a hot tub at Goodwill for like $20?
But by the time you set it up, you plumb it, you run the electrical, you're out $1,000, and then the thing's not going to work.
I do feel for the workers that have to sift through everything because there are very unthoughtful people that will just throw things that are moldy and gross. That stuff goes in the trash. Like when you decide to put stuff in a box or a bag for Goodwill, just put yourself in there. What do I want to shop for? Nothing that has mold on it.
Also, if you still own a waterbed, they don't want that.
Okay.
Carpeting, they don't want your old stank carpeting. They don't want paint or bowling balls.
Oh, bowling balls. That surprises me.
I think they're too heavy for the workers.
Maybe.
And then plus they're going to be jackasses like me that call and be like, oh, do you guys have 16-pound balls? And then they'll be like, yeah, we do, actually. I'll be like, where'd you get your underwear? Hey, thanks again for rolling with us. I really appreciate it. This is kind of an interesting question because all of us parent a little bit differently. When did you let your kid start free-range swearing?
I've never let him, and it's not that he just doesn't do it. Like, I really have a good kid. I don't know where he came from.
What a dork.
The mouths that are on his parents, it honestly blows my mind that he doesn't let anything fly. He's so good. His friends do every now and then.
Is he like this around his friends, though, or is he just doing it to be...
Well, he's not sitting there saying, gee golly. He's not saying darn it all. He's just not swearing. He's articulating in other ways.
Lame!
Which it can be done. But I asked because they said in 2026, parents are way more lenient between the ages of 6 and 17 to let their kids swear. They do say, depending on the situation, is it a way for them to get aggression out without hitting somebody or something? I know that I feel way better when I let an F-bomb out every once in a while. So at what age was it a thing for your kid?
My oldest was a lot later, probably into his teens, before he started swearing around Trisha and myself. My middle child, my daughter Reagan, really doesn't cuss at all. But the youngest was probably 4.
Okay.
Like, I'm just going to be honest with you, man.
When he had a tint of red to the hair.
That
so
third one, we just
why.
kind of let him do whatever he wanted. And we're paying reciprocal damages for that right
You
now.
are.
But
Heavy.
the rule was always not in church, not around grandma or grandpa.
So Brittany kind of said that on our Facebook. She said, I think there's a difference between being sweared at or
yes.
swearing in a sentence to enhance it. So she said swearing at someone, never okay. But swearing to enhance something or to get your feelings out, it's different.
I'll give you that. My youngest is, he's always had a very colorful language, but never at us. I've never heard him, aggressively swear at either of his parents. And his brother and sister, and teammates, but I've never heard him really get aggressive with the cuss words.
Okay. I guess that's good.
Where do you start letting your kids do this? Like I said, for me, my dad, I was free range. He was a military guy, and I learned all the swears really early. I do remember being in the back of the bus, and it was always like the older kids could sit back there and they'd play like card games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when they were like, hey, what does this mean? I mean, I would get called back there all the time to describe what a cuss word really meant to them.
Well,
Because
see,
I'm like,
when
I've been using this since I was 3, but
Yeah.
I just knew that it got me in a lot of trouble as well because I was a free-range cusser at a really young age. But when did you let your kids just kind of get away with it?
All right, so Liam went to a fancy place yesterday. He's like, do I have khakis? I'm like, we'll get you some khakis. So we got him khakis, went to a dinner theater to watch White Christmas.
Okay.
And they got to sit in a booth. He felt like a mobster, thought it was really cool. But the field trip was $70. Okay. And I get it. It is a fun experience. And he really wanted to go. All of his friends were going. And so I'm thinking, and I've been to this place, $70 gets you dinner, the show, not an alcoholic drink because he's 13, but like a drink. And so he gets in my car. I'm like, how was it? He goes, oh, it was so fun. And I said, what'd you eat? He said, Swedish meatballs. And my friends got this dessert and so got this dessert. I said, what dessert did you get? He said, well, you didn't send me with any money. And I said, I didn't know I had to. When would I have been told that I had to give you extra money?
You don't just send your kid with $20 no matter where they're going.
On top of the $70 that I paid.
Oh, yeah, that's a you fail.
And then he's like, Brian had so much soda. He had like 20 whatever refillable things of soda. This kid goes crazy. When his parents aren't around, he'll just like fill it up. Like nobody's there. When the cat's away, the mice will play. So this kid drank a bunch of soda. I said, do you have like a Shirley Temple? Because Liam does not like soda. He's like, no, you didn't send me with any money. So I had to drink water.
Heaven
forbid. And I said, did you feel poor? And he said a little bit. So while he's sitting there at this amazing experience, eating a huge plate of Swedish meatballs and cavatappi, he felt poor.
We kind of need another depression.
He needs to suffer. He needs to know what it's like. Not having soda and not having strawberry New York cheesecake, like that's not suffering.
You want to dial him in? This is what you do this summer.
Yes, I would.
This is what you do this summer. You tell him for the first 2 weeks of June, he'll be out of school, right? I'm hoping or guessing, or even say the last 2 weeks of June. You are on your budget. Whatever you buy, you can eat. You can have ice cream for every meal of the day, but whatever you buy, you eat. Our stuff is our stuff. I want you to learn the value of $1. Now, if before then you'd like to make some money so that you can have steak, Swedish meatballs, soda, cheesecake, filet mignon, start racking up your money, and then you take him to the grocery store.
He can have his own
and
shelf.
He gets his own cart.
Yep.
And you can dedicate part of the fridge and the pantry to him. And you just say, for 2 weeks, I want you to see what it's like to pay for food.
Great idea. Great idea. Just to have him even think that he was going without because he didn't have sugar pulsing through his veins, which it's not even his thing anyway. He just wanted to make a point of me either neglecting to read something correctly or whatever it was.
When I was 9,
I'm not loving it.
My old man did this with me because I was complaining that all my other friends had the Mr. Freezy type pops, and ours were the Flavorite ice sticks, I think is what they were called.
Yeah.
And my dad, for 1 week, I could have anything I wanted out of his Foot Locker. And he had just a Foot Locker just completely full of MREs and rations. And do you know what it's like at 9 years old to try and boil yourself up some chicken noodle soup from an MRE? The worst.
So you stopped complaining.
For 1 week, I got the poops so bad. It ran through my system like Drano. For 1 week, I got to eat rations and MREs, and that was it. And the only thing that was good is they had these tins of jelly. They were about the size of like a Carmex bottle. That was the only thing that was even close to tasty. And he's like, yeah. Now I'll get dropped off in the jungle for 30 days and have one of these. And I'm like, all right. So that's the way I learned my value of $1 is if you try and eat like it's on you, all of a sudden it ain't so bad when your mom and dad buy it.
Well, I don't have Army rations.
I would bet you if you put the bucket out front in our front office, we would have so many military personnel that would come by and drop off an MRE or two. And if you put Liam on that stuff for a week, first off, cleans out your system. You're good to go. Yeah. It's like you're fresh as a baby when you get done with that week. But he will fully understand not being poor.
He needs to feel something other than luxury, I think.
We were telling you yesterday, there's a radio station that carries our show in Georgia, and they're not used to the snow and the cold that they've been getting. So they had us cut all of this audio for the radio station that runs our show saying, oh my gosh, make sure you have canned goods supplied and a radio with batteries and stuff like that. Like everything we take for granted is turning their world upside down.
Like today, I just won't run as many errands. You know what I mean? Like I'm built like Kelly Clarkson was before she lost the weight. And so I'm like okay with this weather.
I'll start my car twice instead of once on days like today. But if you take yourself and you put it in the mentality of, man, we've never really seen snow. We've never really seen cold. We live in Arkansas.
Arkansas is predicted to get heavy snow on Friday and Saturday. It is dry January. My husband and I have been partaking, and we have not really even thought about breaking. However, a snow day, I just love all the memories associated with the snow day. However, you know what else I love? A mimosa.
You know what? We don't. But when you're used to this weather, you don't get work snow days.
No.
But if they did, I would start with a Bloody Mary at 8 a.m. I would probably work my way up to a mimosa, and about noonish, I'd get I've got one of those smokers for whiskey where you put the chips on top and you push.
So fun.
And I would have maybe one or two of those. Then I would take an afternoon nap, and then probably have pizza delivered, and then maybe a couple of beers after that.
You
Not
got
that
it
I've
all
thought this
worked
through.
out.
I mean, if you just had a snow day, you didn't have to go to work. You weren't going to leave the house because it was too dangerous. How would you go about that?
Yeah, I'd have on just the most comfy clothes and curl up on the couch. I'd have our fireplace going. Roaring. I'd watch a Netflix documentary about murder, probably. My kid would be downstairs gaming. We'd meet in the middle for some tacos. You know, it would be a really good day. However, with radio, you got to make it in. I remember driving a Chevy Aveo, which is the size of an air fryer, and I would have to battle these drifts to get to work. I had to go to work. So it'll never happen.
When we get a foot of snow, I got to get out of the driveway. And my road is the last in our county to get plowed. And it's just something like you got to be there. And the weird part is, even if we said, I don't think it's too dangerous.
Yeah.
We would get ridiculed and mocked and probably yelled at if we couldn't come in here.
You have people that you have to keep safe.
They're relying on you.
On the radio.
If you're relying on me, that's your first problem.